Zack Ryder returns and Drew McIntyre joins the Vision. Welcome to Wrestle Ramble episode 17, Smackdown review. Let's get straight into it. Jump into the deep end with me. First up of the night, we had Rhea Ripley opening the show on Smackdown. Io Sky came out with her, did a little cutesy stomp. It was the best thing. The show's already a 10 out of 10. It goes down from here. But regardless of that anyway, they come out to address the little Survivor Series match they're going to have at War Games, as then Alexa and Charlotte Flair come out to also be with them. But Charlotte goes, no, because she's afraid of Rhea Ripley turning heel on her, which is fair enough because they do not like each other. So she just leaves the ring and is not going to be in the War Games match. So now for the rest of SmackDown, they're going to try and find someone to be in their War Games match. Will they find somebody maybe this week or next week? Who knows? Maybe they won't have it at all because no one asked for it anyway. And then we had Jey Uso's entrance for tonight on SmackDown. It's all he's got! He wanted to, of course, run it back, but the crowd weren't really feeling it. I wonder why. But then The Miz comes out and stops him with his entrance music anyway. Thank God! And then we get our first match of the night being Miz and Jey Uso in the Last Time Is Now tournament. Start off the match with a great counter from Jey Uso when he counters the clothesline from The Miz into the corner and gets a landslide pin on him. It looked amazing. It was very well executed by Jey Uso. And then there's a back and forth and Jey Uso dives out to the outside to get The Miz for a suicide dive. Looked pretty good so far, to be honest. And there was a nice code breaker from The Miz and then a wonderful spike DDT which Jey Uso did the whole handspring for. It looked great with the bump, honestly. There was then the lovely Daniel Bryan kick from The Miz, and then a back suplex into a neck breaker from Jey. Haven't seen that one since 2K25. Why is that still his signature? Also, fair play for hitting that, Jey, because hitting that online in 2K is impossible. And then Miz does the John Cena comeback. 5-knuckle shuffle and all. What a great guy. And then there was a super kick by Jey. No way! He hasn't done that move in ages. Oh. There was a false finish from The Miz where he hits the skull crushing finale, but Jey kicks out at 2.5. Oh, very close. And then there's a very weird turnbuckle spot from Jey. I don't know what he was going for, but it looked insane. Then he hits the spear, and then the splash. 1, 2, 3. Jey Uso wins. Yay! So what did I think of this match? Well, Jey Uso looked fine up until he did that weird thing in the corner. Never do that again. And secondly, I don't know what you're doing with The Miz, but he's got nothing to do and you're wasting a great talent like The Miz. It is very frustrating to see every week that he's just not been on TV, and then when he does get on TV, he just loses. What's the point? Why did you even turn him heel again? He was better as a face. This is just boring. Whatever, I guess. But it's a good setup for Jey Uso to move on into the next round of the Last Time Is Now tournament, I suppose. It means that he's going to get more matches, and it means that maybe we can have a bigger moan at him for not doing as well in those matches. I don't know, maybe he'll do well. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Hopefully he doesn't make it to the final. Sorry, Jey. But to be fair, the corner spot that you did with The Miz, apart from that, you never actually botched, so to be honest, you're alright. Ilya Dragunov is then backstage with Nick Aldis and Ciampa because Ciampa's upsteady spaghetti that he's not getting a US title shot against Ilya, even though every week he's been like, come on, come on, come on, all roided up and whatnot. But then Paul Heyman and Bronson Reed walk in, and Nick Aldis says to them that they can have anyone they want for their Survivor Series match. And Paul Heyman, the smart little geekster, takes that to a little bit of a ha-ha and is thinking about it. But then Cody walks in and challenges Bronson Reed for the WWE Championship tonight. I wonder how that's going to end. We then had Ilya Dragunov versus Axiom for the US Championship, as it is an open challenge right now, and Ilya Dragunov is one of the best wrestlers on the planet. I am standing by that 100,000,000%. Ilya getting over the fact that he is the bigger man in this match. Even though he is a small man, he's a bigger man than Axiom, that's for damn sure, and he is putting that over in this match entirely. A little bit of a back and forth. And Ilya hits so hard that he sometimes forgets that it's a wrestling match. My guy, it is not MMA. It is not the UFC. You are not Khabib Nurmagomedov. You do not need to go in that hard. But you know what? It looks great. So keep going, actually. There was a nice H-bomb reversal by Axiom, and then there was headbutts from Ilya onto the ropes, and Ilya headbutts Axiom off the ropes as well in that moment. Lovely diving senton from the top rope by Ilya. Fantastic Northern Lights by Axiom as well when Ilya's outside the ring, brings it back in with the Northern Lights. It looks fantastic. I thought no, it was inside the ring, my bad. Fantastic missile drop kick by Axiom. There's a Constantine special reversed into an armbar. That looks sick. But then Ilya counters it by powering him up into a powerbomb. Oh my god, Ilya, you are just fantastic. The loveliest springboard DDT by Axiom where he has both arms and then springboards off and just hits it. Oh my god, Ilya does kick out, but the way he took that move was absolutely sublime. Then there's an avalanche Spanish fly. Axiom's looking for the golden ratio, but then gets hit with a torpedo Moscow. H-bomb. 1, 2, 3. Ilya retains the US title. Jesus Christ, can this man put on a bad match? I feel like he's put on more great matches in his career than he has bad. Has he ever put on a bad match? Comment down below, because I would want to see it, because I know it doesn't exist, so you just be lying to me. Ciampa then crashes out and attacks Axiom again, because he really wants that US title shot. But then the 7-game Steam streamer Nathan Frazier comes out and helps little Axiom get away and be safe from Ciampa. And what do I think about that? Well, Ilya Dragunov's just one of the best of all time, isn't he? And Axiom, being the first ever Spanish wrestler to be a part of WWE, look that up by the way, it's factually correct, he is amazing as well! And they put on a great match together, the two of them. It looked amazing. This obviously sets up Ilya Dragunov and Ciampa at some point. My recommendation is to do a Survivor Series if you're building it up this much and not just a random off Smackdown or whatever, because them two hit hard. That's going to be a fantastic match where it does eventually happen. Guaranteed. But yeah, there is no joke. Ilya Dragunov is nowhere near a joke. He is phenomenal. Another backstage segment, R-Truth comes back into Nick Aldis's frame and talks about his two big white balls, hands them to Nick and go, "Hey man, you do it yourself." Then we got Lumberjack Zane coming through, and we know it's wood shopping time when he's wearing that little checkered red and black shirt. What is he wearing? We then get a promo by Sami Zayn as he's fired up to fight Solo Sikoa for what he did to his boys last week. He's quite angry about it. He's like, Solo then comes out and calls Sami Zayn selfish, bruv. How is he selfish in any way, shape, or form? Sami Zayn looks to be cornered, but then Rey Fenix, Nakamura, and the Motor City Machine Guns all come out to help him. Yay! And then Sami Zayn beats up Solo, but then he gets tucked away into a nice little neat corner by one of the Tongas. I can't remember which one, honestly. They all look long black hair and all called Tonga. I genuinely can't remember. It was probably Tala. Cody and Jay and them backstage with Jimmy Uso, who announces he's going to be in the War Games match. So now they've got another person. Fantastic work, guys. Jay and Jimmy back together again to be the next tag team champions. That is never happening again, is it? Nick Aldis then announces a 5v5 match next week for SmackDown, which is the MFT against Rey Fenix, Nakamura, Motor City, and Sami Zayn for a little Survivor Series Classic elimination match. That'll be sick. We haven't seen that in so long. And then we have another last time is now tournament match between LA Knight and his mystery opponent. Can you guess who it is? It was all over Twitter. Can you guess? That is right, it is Zack Ryder back to face LA Knight in the last time is now tournament. Who the hell is Matt Cardona anyway? Some lovely technical ring work at the start, and I'm just happy to see Zack Ryder back, to be honest. He's back where he belongs, in the WWE. Who the hell is Matt Cardona? Big booty drop by LA Knight to Zack. It looked fantastic. Hits him with the yeah punches. It was a classic neck breaker by Knight. Of course, he always does it in every match. It's amazing. It's good. Come on. The Zack Ryder boot. I have missed that, by the way. And the classic elbow by LA Knight, but he had to roll through because there was a Rough Rider by Zack, and then a 1, 2, 3... No, 1-2 kick out. Oh, okay. The Rough Rider has been kicked out of. That's a shame because that is one of my favorite moves ever in WWE. I love that move. And then there was a BFT counter into a pin, kick out, and then LA Knight counters the Rough Rider from the middle rope into a power bomb. It looked great, kind of. Zack Ryder comes up a little bit stunned. BFT 1, 2, 3. LA Knight advances into the next round. Wow. LA Knight and Zack Ryder, two people that refused to be put over in the WWE, one by the old guy and one by the Triple H. Just refused to put them over in both of their tenures at WWE. I mean, LA Knight's still there, but hey, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, come on. Zack Ryder was so over back in the day, and he's still not getting what he deserves. It's kind of sad, to be honest, because Zack Ryder is fantastic. Matt Cardona's fantastic as well, but Zack Ryder... Ooh, come on now. You can't, what can you do? That is just brilliant. Now, it was, of course, lovely to see Zack Ryder back. I thought he did fantastic against LA Knight. Looked great. Rough Rider looked great. It was a nice little match to get him back into. Hopefully, this means he's back now full-time, because they can fit him into a lot of different things. I really want to see him just stay here in the WWE. All the indie stuff he has done now, it's, you know, it's enough. It's enough for me, to be honest. He's done enough. I think he just needs to come back home right to the WWE, because he has always been loved here, and he would be more than welcome to stay. He's just great, and I think the crowd need to understand that more, because they barely popped for him, and it was a very, very sad thing to watch. But of course, sets up the fact that LA Knight is moving on to the next tournament, and hopefully it sets up something else for Zack Ryder too. I'm praying. I'm really praying here. but I wouldn't try and powerbomb him like that again, mate, because if you do, he's going to end up in a wheelchair again with the crutches and then get pushed off the ramp by Kane, and that happened a long time ago. We don't need another repeat of it. Come on now! Then we're backstage with Rhea, Io Sky, and Alexa Bliss as they're all trying to get together for the little, the little match at War Games, and Charlotte Flair is still not coming out to help them out. It's a bit of a shame. But then they're ambushed by the Kabuki Warriors, Nia Jax and Lash Legend, all wailing in on them. It was very upsetting. Oh, they got hurt. It was so bad, and Charlotte Flair's not doing anything about it. Who's going to do something? Who's going to step up? AJ Lee! I don't know. I honestly don't know who's going to step up. And then we had Jade Cargill versus B-Fab, our second ever orange squash match on the show. What did happen in the match, of course? Follow-away slam, choke slam, powerbomb, another powerbomb. Jade Cargill wins. And it was very easy for her to do so because B-Fab is fucked. And then Michin comes out to confront Jade Cargill. Well, there's our next victim. Some little thing that thinks she can throw it back. Wow. What did I think? Well, I love squash matches. Orange squash is the best. Come on. And what, of course, is it set up? Well, set up the fact that Jade Cargill is just going to squash everyone left, right, and center until someone steps up to the plate. But it's not going to be anyone anytime soon. I just love orange squash. Like, come on. But personally, the match didn't have enough high spots in it, but hey, I'm not Jim Cornette, man. And then we got our next round of Last Time Is Now tournament matches, which is Carmelo Hayes versus Bronson Reed, and Penta versus Finn Balor for next week's SmackDown. Looks fantastic. And then Carmelo Hayes has a little backstage interview about John Cena and what he thinks of him. And then Bronson Reed comes out to confront him like a little Richmond sausage grill in the day. And then we got our main event match, which is Cody Rhodes versus Bronson Reed for the WWE Championship. I wonder if there's an interference. That doesn't ever happen in this tournament anyway. Off to a quick start already. Looks like they're trying to end SmackDown early because they're going over time. Oh! Great offense by Bronson. Disaster kick. Looked great by Cody. And Bronson Reed sold it like the rent was out the door. There was a fantastic Valley Driver by Bronson. I'm not going to say the first word because then I'll get demonetized. There was a tsunami. Missed. Super Cody Gunner from the top rope. Connects. And Bronson was sent over the barricade into the timekeeper area. Oh, this is where it gets a bit frisky now. Really swung himself round there like a bat out of eye. The table is then being dismantled by Cody Rhodes when Braun Breaker comes running through like a dog when you rattle food out of a can. Woof. Oof, oof. And Logan Paul is also there for the silly DQ. Who saw that coming? There was an assault on Cody, but Jey Uso comes out to help, and guess what he does first? Super kick! And a 1D by the Usos! I forgot Jim Uso was there. A 1D! Gets the tables! Usos were going to do the double splash, but then Drew McIntyre comes out and assaults them. Drew McIntyre's in the vision! Oh! And then Nick Aldis comes out and confronts Paul Heyman and is like, what are you doing? You said you couldn't have. And he keeps going, anybody. And Bronson then spears Jey through the table. No. Claymore to Cody. And then a tsunami to Cody. It's all downhill from here. And then SmackDown ends. What did I think of the main event? There wasn't really a main event. That was just a load of horse. The match was a nothing match. It was essentially just to set up the fact that Drew McIntyre is now joining the Vision to help out at War Games. That was the whole thing. But then you've got the Usos, and CM Punk is in the War Games match as well, I'm pretty sure. So that's a 4v4 now. Is there going to be 2 final members for the match at War Games? I don't know. There could be. There could very well be. But we'll have to wait and see. But it is setting up potentially 2 last members for each team. 1 last member for each team, my bad. Who are they going to be? I don't know. But we'll find out next coming weeks. But I tell you what, if the last member for Cody's team isn't Brandy Rhodes, I'm not watching this product anymore. But that's going to do it for this week's SmackDown episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and be sure to like and subscribe and comment down below what was your favorite moment for SmackDown this week, and I will catch you guys all